This next set of videos will give an example of the 7-step process using the FSA Writing prompt that's been released with the practice test. If you're unfamiliar with the 7-step process, go back and watch the first overview video that describes it in about 10 minutes. This video will give an example of step 1, in which we read, analyze, and understand the prompt. When I take the FSA Writing test, my screen will look a lot like this one, with the passages on the left side. The right side will have the prompt at the top and a place underneath for me to type my essay. In the first step, I need to clearly understand what I'm being asked to write so that I can give my reader what he or she is looking for. I'll start by carefully reading the prompt all the way through once, and that's right here. Write an informational essay on the relationship between clothing styles and developments in clothing creation. Your essay must be based on ideas, concepts, and information from the passage set. Manage your time carefully so that you can read the passages, plan your essay, write your essay, and revise and edit your essay. Your response should be in the form of a multi-paragraph essay. Remember to spend time reading, planning, writing, revising, and editing. Type your answer in the space below. Now I need to continue with a close reading of the prompt by looking for and analyzing the key words that tell me what to do. Write an informational essay. This is an important key word, so I'm going to immediately write it on my planning sheet. I know that I can be asked to write 2 types of essays on the state writing test, an informational essay or a persuasive essay. In an informational essay, I'm going to have to explain a topic clearly so that a reader who doesn't already know a lot about the topic can understand it. If you want to learn about the difference between informational and persuasive, see overview video number 2 for more details. As I read further, I see that my essay is supposed to be about the relationship between clothing styles and developments in clothing creation. Clothing styles makes perfect sense to me, so I'll just write that down the way they said it. But developments in clothing creation, what do they mean by that? When I look at this word developments, I know that when it's used this way, usually refers to advancements or changes over time, kind of like developments in technology. I wonder if they're using the word creation to mean production or how clothes are made. That makes a lot more sense to me, so I'll write it that way. Clothes making. Now, as I read the passages, I'll need to make sure that I interpreted that part of the prompt correctly. For example, if the passages are talking more about fashion designers and how the fashion industry comes up with new ideas, then I'll know that clothing creation meant design and not production. Right now, though, this makes a lot of sense to me, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. As I keep reading, I can see that this part of the prompt is clearly telling me that I'm not just supposed to write about what I know, but that I should use the information from the passages that I've been given to develop my essay. I know that I need to cite the sources that they give me. This is part of the prompt where they remind me of that. Then this part here tells me that I should manage my time well. Remember that you can take up to 2 hours for the FSA writing test, so that should be plenty of time to read the passages carefully and write a great essay. It would be a big mistake to let myself feel rushed and start skipping some of the steps. Then, as I read this part, it tells me that I should write in paragraph form, and again it reminds me to manage my time well. And then of course it tells me here that my answer should be in the box below. That all makes sense to me, so now I'm going to read the prompt one more time to make sure that I didn't miss anything important. Write an informational essay on the relationship between clothing styles and developments in clothing creation. Your essay must be based on ideas, concepts, and information from the passage set. Manage your time carefully so that you can read the passages, plan your essay, write your essay, and revise and edit your essay. Your response should be in the form of a multi-paragraph essay. Remember to spend time reading, planning, writing, revising, and editing. Type your answer in the space below. I think I understand what they're asking me pretty well, so now I'm ready for step 2.